Hello, 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 everyone. This is Renault, and this is a weekly blog, or that I do once a month. But seriously, um, it's been a while, and the reason why I'm setting this up is because all the stuff that I've been really preoccupied with and really busy with has come to an end. And so I figured, oh shoot, I haven't done this in a while, and I really need to do it because I have some important announcements. Now, I originally started doing these blogs just to take personal responsibility because I was starting a weight loss program, and it's like, well, if I have to announce every week that my progress or lack of progress, then it would make me feel a little bit of shame and stay on the wagon, so to speak. Well, as you can probably tell, I have fallen off the wagon, as exemplified by this picture here. Now, I don't know if you know, but there's these things called apple cider donuts that are made by Entenmann's, and they are delicious. And they are my weakness. They come out in the fall. I love to eat them, and so I ate them. I ate a lot of them. And, of course, this has caused me to gain several pounds, much to my shame. The purpose of the whole weekly blog thing was to take responsibility and say, oh no, I've gained weight, and to publicly announce it. But then, if you don't do the weekly blogs, then you're not holding yourself accountable. And so I've fallen off the wagon there. So I'm redoubling my efforts now that some things in my life have changed a little bit. Speaking of things that have changed a little bit, the semester is over. As for just about everybody, unless you're like on a quartermester or trimester, then maybe you might still be in it. But most universities and schools are at semesters, and this is now the semester break. So it's like, well, I can slack off and keep falling off the wagon, or I can pick myself up by the bootstraps and rededicate my efforts to my weight loss program. So that's what I'm doing. And so I'm getting back on the wagon, so to speak. And yeah, it's really starting to get uncomfortable. My shirts aren't fitting as well as I like them to, etc., etc. Big guys know what I'm talking about. Big ladies too. And so, I have a whole lot of clothes that are smaller, and I just grew out of them and didn't care. Well, I mean, they're perfectly good clothes. So if I start losing weight again, then I can start having a wider variety of clothes and whatever. And speaking of which, the semester's over, and that was good. True story. I was working on my last final for my last class, and my last final for my last class was a sales presentation. Like, not too much of a big deal, only between 3 and 5 minutes. But I was having all kinds of internet issues for hours. My router was jacked up, and I had to submit it by midnight. And so I did my presentation, or everything, but I could not get it to upload. Long story short, after all the technical issues and internet issues I was dealing with, I was finally able to submit it at 11:59 with 2 seconds to spare. The video had to be rendered. It's a university's rendering, so it's not necessarily the best. And it was just taking a really long time. And I was like, oh my gosh, how long is it going to take? It was only my presentation. I actually cut my presentation short because I had to redo it 3 or 4 times. I don't remember how many times I had to do it, but I had to redo my own presentation and video record it. And it was a real mess, but I was finally able to get it submitted. What a disaster that could have been. And lastly is I put in my resignation for my job. Now, the purpose of my resignation was just because I could not go to school full-time and work full-time. Well, because in the financial industry, there's a lot of people doing like last-minute financial stuff before the year rolls over. There's also lots of advising that has to be done before the year rolls over. And so it's not just working full time, it would be working mandatory overtime. And so when it comes to doing all of that, I just couldn't do it. And so what I did was I asked for my job did have personal leave. They have 8 weeks personal leave and personal time off. And I requested it, but my job would not provide it. And so it was either provide me with the leave or I resign, and they wouldn't provide me with the leave. Which is pretty shocking because I figured, you can either give me 2 weeks off or just I quit. And so they wouldn't give me the 2 weeks off. How many weeks was it? 8 weeks? Yeah. So it was 2 or 3 weeks. I think it's 3 weeks, actually, now that I think about it. No, not 3 weeks. 2 months. My goodness. I'm all confuzzled. Anyway, so there is that. And so the semester's over. My job I resigned from very recently. And I'm rededicating myself to my weight loss program. It's not really a program, it's just eating less. But the snack, look at these. These are apple cider donuts. It's the snacks that get you. It's not necessarily eating like the lean meals or skipping meals, at least for me. It's the snacks. It's the snacks. Have snacks are amazing. They're just sitting there and you grab them. So what I need to do is focus more on just healthy snacks. Also, I'm going to see if I can get a 2-monitor setup, because with a 2-monitor setup, it's a lot easier to do streams and whatever. And I have the space for it now because I was a telecommuter and all of my work equipment was sent back. And so now I have this kind of empty space where I can set up my dual monitor, move my stuff around. And so I'm going to see if I can get everything arranged and set up before year's end and get that taken care of. So that's my blog of the week, which hasn't been done in almost 3 months. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.